Hey now, we're back with another Behind the Investigation Live with Jared,
And Brent.
Pasadena Paranormal. Ed can't make it tonight. We're not going to elaborate on what's going on, but Ed, if you're watching or if you watch this later on this week like you do at the gym all the time, your Pasadena Paranormal family is with you, brother.
Yeah, buddy.
We're here for you.
Cheers to you, bro.
Cheers. So tonight we're going to be talking about episode 3. Episode 3 that came out Friday. Bud Files, what's up? Go get 'em, what's up?
Hey.
Ro, my sister from another mister. Andrea, Christy, Black Collar Project, what's up, Mock? What's up, everybody? All right, so tonight we're going to be talking about the episode that premiered Friday, a little bit of back history with it. There wasn't a lot of voiceovers in it that we could talk about, so we'll elaborate on that a little bit. We're also going to talk about the live stream a little bit that happened on Saturday. It looked like everybody had a good time in there. Brent, did you have a good time?
I did. I did have a good time.
Hey, Jane, what's up? I was told that we could set a trend with this off-site thing, and I was like thinking to myself, I don't want to set a trend. I want to have my partner with me here.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But it's a good alternative. I will say, it's effective. It works.
Yeah, and judging from the watch hours and the views on the sucker, it tales from the solstice. What's up? Hey, the watch hours and the views, it looked like it was pretty good.
Yeah.
The house was it was draining. I still have a nice I still have a nice paranormal hangover right now. 2 days in, still trying to get out of it. Michelle's Tasty Dishes.
Hey,
What's up, Michelle? Who day? All right. And we're going to talk about our upcoming investigation on February 19th, which is
I will be there for that. I will be there for that.
You will be here for that. So how's things going on your end, Brent?
Things are going good, man. Hey, I know we're going over episode 3 in this one a little bit here. I got part 2 of that coming up on the end of getting that one done. So,
yeah, part 2 will be coming out for episode 3. Again, this was at the Gresham Estate. If you're interested in the history of the place, you can listen to us, or you can go straight to Google and just type in the Gresham Estate and get a little rundown.
Yeah.
The place is loaded. We were the first paranormal investigators to investigate the place, so it was like, hey, finally somebody's here to talk to us.
Man, we'll get into that. That's the truth.
Yeah. So this weekend was fun. We're going to have to go through a review and check out everything. We went live on Facebook, and we're going to talk to as a group. Maybe we'll premiere that Friday. You want to premiere that Facebook Live Friday on the channel here?
Yeah, we can do that.
It was a pretty cool. It's already got like 600 views on Facebook, so
damn,
people nice. Loved it on Facebook.
This was some interesting stuff happened there. Like, how do I want to say that? We always have interesting stuff happen, right? But something happened with one of the video cameras. That, one of the storage drives on us.
Oh yeah,
not had happened before. It was pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah. So Saturday or Sunday morning, I am trying to process all of our collected data over to our external drive. And I got everything done except for the last camera that was in Tommy's bedroom. Now, I seen with my eyes a fast-moving shadow that went from left to right in front of that camera and then dissipated back up. And I was like, I know what the hell I seen over there. So I went over to the camera, and when I looked, the battery was dead. So I changed the battery and went back and yada, yada, yada. So, what's up, buddy? So we get into the reviewing or processing the data over, and my SD card, literally, after I got the 4 videos that came from it, I only got 4 videos of 29 minutes all night from that camera. Like, we were there for 6 hours.
Yeah.
We got 4 videos of 2 hours. The rest of them didn't record.
Sucks.
I go to clean off the disc, and it just keeps on going and going and going and go. The computer found petabytes of data on this SD card.
Which is crazy because that couldn't fit on that SD card. Yeah. You know,
Like, it was into like the 5 and 6 petabytes. So if you know what that is, that's 5 billion terabytes. You know what I mean? Like,
it's a crazy number.
Where did all that data come from?
Yeah.
Like, we had I just went ahead and bought another SD card, and we had to reformat the whole card.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what the hell? What's up, Debbie? Brent, Spectral Researchers is another family member of ours. That's Debbie.
Hey, Debbie.
They do great work.
Awesome. I'll check you guys out.
Yep. So that SD card, I actually took a video of it and sent it to Brent and Ed. Like, I've never seen this before. Could you guys elaborate, please?
And it sucks because, you know, it sucks. Yeah.
Where is he at? Tales of the Solstice. I didn't even know petabytes existed. Neither did I until I seen it.
Right.
I see, what the hell is PB?
Yeah.
So I Googled it and I was like, petabytes, what the hell is that? So something got a hold of that SD card and messed it up a little bit, man. So that's something that we never seen. But other than that, the investigation, if anybody watched, you know, it was cool. There's some things going on in there, and
so like you said on the on the live, you said it was hard sledding. Yeah. What were you feeling there, man? What was going on? What was your thoughts behind that comment?
Thanks, Michelle. I went in this investigation, and I admit it. This investigation, I was a little off because I wanted to help. It's the first thing that I said when I walked in. I said, "Hey guys, I'm here. I'm here to help. I know what you said, and that's what I'm here for." And I was so gung-ho, hell-bent to provide answers for our folks that are there, our past occupants, that I think I let it control my emotions.
Yeah.
So I think that may have gotten away a little bit as well.
So it's so it sounds like kind of like set up some kind of some blocks going on, and just it didn't.
Yeah, I didn't do my best there, and that's one of the reasons why I walked away a little bit disappointed, because I pride myself on our investigation techniques, and I sort of felt like I failed the folks there.
I'm sure that's not true. I mean, we'll see what we got in all the stuff, with everything in review. But I mean, we've been on investigations. Benson Hammond hasn't, it hasn't always been easy there. You hit blocks and whatever walls. And you're like, well, I thought we got through this wall, man. What are we doing? Starting, it feels like you're just fighting and trudging through the mud to get something going. So we've been there.
Little bits and pieces were coming, Brent. Like in that Facebook Live, I went to the spirit box for some reason. I was like, it used to work here all the time. Let's go with the spirit box, and we started getting some really cool answers. Like, there's children in here who's messing with the flashlight? I do, in a girl's voice.
Huh.
Little stuff like that. But this is before the cameras were set up, so.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah. I'm curious. Is anybody in the chat going through and watch back the live and actually listen to it with headphones and see if they pick up on anything? I've heard a couple things so far that we all got the group's got to talk about. But
Yep.
I think there was a few interesting things. I will say, sitting on the live, doing the Zoom call like we're doing, having the echo box going and not being able to control it was like, oh my God, it was, it's like, oh man, it just kind of deals with what it is.
Let me just say, when you were in there doing the echo box session via South Carolina, I was outside in the summer kitchen.
Oh, I know. Was it cold?
Outside was about 22 degrees that night.
So
and I was
were you out there looking for? Were you out there looking for that left plate, or what were you doing?
Dude, I was walking in the yard. I was holding the K2. I was holding, I had the recorder on the camera. I was like, guys, I got the spirit box. It's in there going. I have this K2. Flash it when I'm standing on top. I was going nuts.
Wow.
Oh, I was so hell bent to try to find that damn compass.
Well, I'm curious. So did you guys at least follow the directions given? Walk out in the yard 12 feet and stand over where they said you were supposed to
at that point, I was already outside. And I came back in, went outside again. Dude, I was all over the place Saturday. Like I said,
I tell you,
I'm really disappointed in myself. But we'll have another chance at it there. So, but this Saturday, we will be in a colonial pub / tavern from 1753.
Not this Saturday. Next Saturday.
February 19th.
There you go.
We'll be at the Rising Sun Inn in Annapolis. Actually, it's Crownsville. So this
one
place,
been investigated before?
They've had ghost tours that are sponsored by the society, but they do not have investigations. We're the first one to actually investigate it. And they're excited because they have stories of the three spirits that live there now. Abigail, Randolph, and Amos. Amos comes with a burnt smell because he was.
I'll be no help there.
Yeah. Brent can't smell, folks.
I'd be like, is he here? No, seriously, is he here? Do
you smell him?
Jackie, you look like you smell something. Is it burnt? Does it smell burnt? Is he behind you?
He's a slave that was burnt outside, and he stays in the basement. And they say he's an aggressive spirit, so that ought to be fun.
I'm ready to go down there, believe it or not.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of stories of this place. We're excited about it. They've signed off on the documentary. We just got to provide them with the copy before so they can approve, and that'll be good to go.
Yep. It'll be fun. I'm hopeful. I tell you what, coming out of the Gresham, seeing what Gresham produced, never been investigated, and how quickly they took to communication and using the means that we gave them. You got to be hopeful for anything to come out, So,
well, I also want to try to see if there's a triangle between Gresham, the William Brown, and Rising Sun, because they're all from around that time period.
Yeah,
it's almost and they're all relatively close to each other.
Yeah.
So if we can find a tie-in somewhere, that would be pretty cool.
That would be cool. It would be cool. And a matter of fact, we got to be open to if we hear a name that we've heard elsewhere, be like, wait, okay, it's not so odd to hear.
It's possible. It's possible. It's right down the street.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be interesting. That'd be cool.
Yep. All right, so let's get into episode 3. How did everybody like episode 3? Right now, we're at about 37 watch hours. We're at about almost 200 views, 47 thumbs up, 51 comments. Nice. She's doing good. So obviously people were liking it. How do you like it? The Gresham Estates was a colonial settlement town in the early 1600s. It also served as the home to William Cotter. It was called Cotter's Desire.
Yeah.
He was a pirate. He owned it from 1697 to 1702 when he died.
Yeah.
And then John Gresham occupied the space with his family until Commodore Isaac Mayo purchased it and made it his home. Most of the history lies with Mayo because of the type of decorated war hero he was at the time. And Commodore Mayo was supposedly have killed himself in the house. Nobody knew where. Nobody knew the date. There's newspaper articles in our area saying that nobody knows if he killed himself or if he was murdered.
Yeah. And there's mystery behind it because, he resigned but supposedly he died before the resignation, what the word I'm looking for? The no, you can't resign. You're fired, pretty much. Yeah.
He terminated his service.
That's it. Terminated. Yeah.
He terminated his service, and supposedly Mr. Commodore Mayo was so distraught by that he killed himself.
But now, supposedly he was dead before that even got to him.
Exactly. How did he know?
How did he know?
I mean, it's like a cold case if you ask me.
Yeah, there's some question.
Yeah, but there was questions to his death. He opposed the Civil War, and if anybody knows Civil War history, the Union held a strong advantage on the water because Confederacy didn't have the ships or the Commodores to control, to guide these ships. So the possibility of Lincoln knowing that Mr. Mayo was a Southern
would benefit. Would benefit.
Yeah, and he's getting ready to break out of town and go help old, Jefferson Davis out. Oh, I mean, not that far away. Let's send some people down to take care of this issue, maybe.
And so that's obviously one of the things, touching base on the names of that history has shown us is one of the. You can see it from watching the documentary. You guys are very much pinging on those things, and but it's interesting.
Frank?
The majority of what you guys were able to capture was not about Isaac Mayo or Cotter, or
we got
there
some.
Was. There is. I mean, I think there's things that can definitely show to at least somebody speaking for them, if not them directly. I think most of the things that I've heard so far, they're not like a real direct. Like, all right, so we're talking about the first one here, the first part of Gresham. There's not a lot of me and I's as regards to Mayo or Cotter. there's a lot of he did, or this did, or yes we, and stuff like that.
We have this beacon theory. The spirits use these older locations that are still around as beacons, something they remember, and they go to it. And with the settlement that may have had a harsh winter and ate their friends, it could have been them too. So let's go to the first clip, Brent. We got a clip for you from the documentary, episode 3. This is when we were setting up. This is a Class A EVP. It's a 2-word Class A EVP. But little background story before Brent presses play. There was only me, Jackie, and Ed there that evening. We had met our escort there, and she gave us the code to lock up, and we were there all by ourselves. We had free access. So this was after she left, and this is not Jackie.
Yeah, no. So, and again, this is EVP. This is I think it's fun because it just goes to show it's a good thing you have things set up, camera set up and rolling, not just in position, but recording while you guys are still in the midst of setting up, because you capture stuff like this, and I just think it's fun and cool. I actually remember hitting you up and asking, do you want to put this in? Because it's not really, a part of the technically investigation, but it's definitely evidence. So, ready to check it out?
Yep, go ahead.
All right, here we go. Yeah. Here you go. One more time. Headset if you need it. I can hear clear.
Oh yeah, it's got that whisper tone to it.
Yeah. And it's funny. I'm curious, like, what are they wowing to? So yeah, who knows? But it's definitely a fun one.
It's definitely a woman, and she's like, "Oh wow, somebody's here to talk to. Holy crap, we ain't talked to anybody in years." Well,
what's interesting is, at that point, do they even know that you're there to talk? I mean, Ed hasn't even done the real, hey, here's what you use and do all that yet.
We did that as soon as we walked in the door.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep. Well, then before we started pressing play.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep. We walked around as soon as we walked in the door. Hey, folks, we're here to communicate with you. Don't be afraid.
Still, at that point, it's interesting. I mean, how long do you think before that actual EVP came through did you do an introduction? Because it's still curious what they're saying. Oh wow, about like oh wow.
It took us about 45 minutes to set up.
Yeah, so
about 45 minutes from stepping in the door to press and record on that camera.
Yeah. So
what up, Amber?
Hey.
Yeah, so that's a Class A. That's a Class A. It's a 2-word, but you can definitely hear the whisper. You can definitely hear the electronical tone at the end of it. It's funny how that investigation that's never been investigated before got a piece of evidence in 5 minutes.
Yeah, boom. And it's something like EVPs. That's cool. You catch it. It's my favorite, definitely my favorite. But I mean, it was the gambit. Outside of actually, you guys saw. So you had visuals. You guys saw. We didn't capture on camera, but you saw silhouettes, people, whatever, children, right? Disembodied voices, right? You got EVPs and ITC. It was all there, even a potential light anomaly. So
Rose says maybe they like the devices and we're like, oh wow, let's go play with them.
Yeah,
they did start playing with the K2.
I tell you what, the, you know, I'm definitely a supporter of the Echo Vox, having used
Uh-huh.
it for so long. Oh, skeptical nonetheless. Definitely skeptical that they're going to be able to use it. Never,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, okay, we'll turn it on, but you're probably not going to get anything. It's going to take 3 times of visiting this place before they do anything with it. And it was on fire. I would say the most active we've ever had, with the Echo Vox. And we've had serious active Echo Vox sessions. This one was crazy.
Yep, it was. I mean, there was so much coming through. Amber said, "I'm sorry that happened to you, Amber. I hope it was not my
Jeez.
voice. I hope it was Brent's voice that did
So sorry.
I get the blame of Brent this time. It had to have been him.
It's so, yeah.
Rusty Nut Paranormal. I made you blue. Go ahead and post your link, brother, if you want to. Yep. So, Echo Vox in this episode was amazing.
It was.
The things
It
that
was
we
amazing.
got, and going back to what were we? I'm drawing a blank here now, Brent. Frick.
Which place? There's so many.
No, going back to what you were saying,
No.
or what we were talking about with Commodore Mayo. With
Oh,
Commodore
okay.
Mayo, there's mystery behind his death, and we're trying to hit on that because we had read different articles saying that there was mystery. So what are we going to do to intrigue these spirits to talk to us? Let's kick up some emotions. Hey, these people were saying you killed yourself. Is that true?
Yeah.
And this is the response we got.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
go ahead and pull this one up.
This one's
We're gonna
good
play
too.
this one. We're gonna play this one a few times because I want y'all to hear the clarity of this Echo Vox capture.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna back it up just a little bit because I don't know how far it is. Somewhere around here. It's after this. You let
Listen
me
to
know when
the
you're
clarity
ready.
of the capture, the clarity of the capture, and the accent that these words are said in.
You ready?
Yep.
Was that a yes?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. Hey, just make sure everybody can hear that on there. I just realized it was initially muted, so hopefully that last one I played was not initially muted.
No, it wasn't. I heard it.
Okay. All right, we go this again.
Listen to the clarity of this and the accent.
Oh.
I love that one. Listen to it. Dude, I heard every word of that. Every word, every syllable of that.
I know. And it's awesome.
Black people. Now remember, Commodore Mayo most likely had some type of British accent.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Think of the maybe. Times. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, everybody back then sort of did a little bit, unless you were Southern. You
had
that Southern drawl to you. But the clarity of that with the stories around see, Deb knows. Deb, was that British? That sounded British to me. She's from Britain. But the clarity of that, just all the other phonemes stop, like in Laurel. We're all stuck in here. Everything stops. And what wants to come out is coming out. It's two black people with the mysteries behind his death. You know, is he telling us that, hey, they sent two black people here and they killed me?
Yeah, and if you saw it before that, a little bit before that, when the first time I played it, I had a little further back, and it says they came up into the main, and I actually believe it says house. By the way, guys, there's a ton of other things in there that are not captioned. I mean, I've gone through it and listened to them like, I didn't caption that. I didn't caption that. There's something else in caption. There's just too much. I mean, it was like, okay, we got to get this thing produced. So there's a bunch of Easter eggs in there to help build on the story.
But I will say, watch that sucker. Let us know.
I will say, there's, I don't, like you said, that's one of your favorite. I don't know what's my favorite because there's so much there, and when you put it all together, the majority of it, I see building a story around this group of people that went through a harsh winter and had to make a really tough choice of survival, and they're vexed by it in their soul and looking for some kind of absolution. And unfortunately, they're coming to the wrong people for that. That, you know, and just thinking, oh, we'll just confess to these jokers and we'll be all right.
Hey, here they are. Let's talk to them.
But nonetheless, they're telling a story, and there's so much there. So I will say this is one of my favorite investigations, just based on everything that's come out of it.
Yeah, I mean, Mock's up here. Mock says it was a great video. Brent did a hell of a job putting it together, but there was a lot of things that we left out as well. It was a great investigation. I mean, if you watch the Facebook Live, the K2 at the beginning of the night when we first stepped in there was unbelievable.
Yeah, and let me touch on that part for a quick second. In this documentary here, you see if there's a part where Ed is like, he kind of pauses in the middle. He's like, hey, I want to do something real quick. And he doesn't really explain it to the camera. You know what he's going to do. He kind of goes through it, and then he gets upset. He's like, oh, because what he was going to do is he wanted to film how the K2 was just dead. Earlier tonight, it was just going crazy. And when he stood up, he got the camera out, and he was away from it. He got the camera out and it started spiking again. And that's when he was like, seriously? I wanted to feel how it wasn't being active.
You know, like this week, Saturday, we were at Benson Hammond, and we were doing the Facebook Live, and Jackie was literally 5 feet away from the K2, like we were at Gresham, and that KT was flat. And she stepped away, and that's when it started to.
Yeah.
I was like, if everybody remembers the Gresham Live, remember that K2 going crazy? Well, here she is with that phone close to it. It's not going crazy right
now. Yeah.
But good night, Frank. Again, Frank from Three Souls. We hope you feel better, brother. I know you're going through some stuff, but we're all here for you. All right. Let's see. Let's see what people are saying. Rose says, I just can't wait to be able to understand the Echovox as good as you guys.
Well, actually, I want to touch on that one. And I guess there's kind of two ways to look at that. One, there's the understanding of how to set it up, right? And just utilizing. That's going to come with practice and what works better for, I guess, your ears in each location, because Jared will have ways to set it up. But if it doesn't get activity, he'll switch it up. Boop, boop, boop. You'll see him go over and do something, or switch to B bank, and switch it back to A bank, and it's constantly changing it back and forth. The other thing I would say is which is the other side is the actual real time understanding of it. And this is a part we've talked about. If you guys notice, there's a lot of that is not in this investigation is not addressed real time. Mm-hmm. It's not easy to hear all these things. I do think this is easier to hear than the spirit box. That's just me personally. real time in the
100%.
room, I think it's easier to pick up on stuff. But there's other ways to do, tactics to make that work. Obviously, a speaker choice will be a factor. Your distance from it.
That is a good thing. That is a good thing that you just brought up, Brent. Ro, you can always look into adding an external speaker to that, and that will bring the responses out more. Like if you see how we use it, I got it on the app, but I also have an external speaker with it.
Yeah, and I would suggest like the one you're using that I think you used in that one. I don't think that speaker had a volume control. So having a speaker that has a volume control, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm just telling Deb what
having a speaker that has a volume control could definitely be assistance. Another thing I'm going to suggest to people, and I think we're going to start doing it too, is burst session it. All right. I heard everything you guys saw captioned. I heard because I was able to play it back and listen to it.
Yep.
Oh, wait, I think I heard something. Let me play that back real quick. So just like people do burst session spirit box, or EVP sessions. Everybody does it burst session EVPs. Spirit boxes, you're not really doing a burst session because you're not recording, or if you record it on a digital recorder or something. You do the same thing with the Echo box. Do a burst session, listen back, see if you hear an answer. Give it 5 minutes, whatever, play it back, and go from there. And that's how you're going to get real time communication. Guys.
Yep. And it's something that we need to look into, especially when we're trying so hard to provide answers.
I'll say another thing is, you can get a splitter or an audio splitter. If you have a group, especially if you have a team, have a speaker, right? So the team can hear it, and have one person with headphones on. When if you've done an Estes session.
Yep.
I have trouble when I'm in a room with the spirit box. You put headphones on in an Estes session, the clarity is way better. You're able to hear it and say what you just heard. Do that with the Echo box, but have everybody else, be able to hear with a speaker. That way you have someone who's actually there, like what it just said, whatever. So just some thoughts and ideas to share. Go ahead.
Deb asked if we use the what can you say?
Phasma box?
Yeah. No, not yet.
I don't even know what it is.
I do not know what it is. I'm going to make Adrian a moderator. Go ahead, you're blue. I haven't even heard of it, Deb. Can you share that in the chat with me later on?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things that that are out there we haven't tried. Some of them I'll say I think are gimmicky, but I will not lie. When the Echo Box came out, I was against it. I'm like, an app? Really?
I remember our conversations. I'm like, dude, he just created it. Let's give it a try.
I would say here's the things that I would look at. If there's any type of programmed responses, if it goes off of programmed words, and I'm going to contradict myself here in a second, but if it goes off programmed words, I would stay away from it. Now that being said, I also loved the Ovilus that we had. Well, that had programmed dictionary that was supposed to go off on different energy levels. Yep. No explanation to what those levels are, how they affected it. And I would have knocked that away with a baseball bat and said, no way, except for we used it. And if it wasn't for like the incident with Cody and Howard County, never convinced me that was not a legit tool used by a spirit
communication device, because that thing was just.
So,
hey, we need to get out of here. All right, Ro, have a good one. Everybody say goodnight to Ro. She's got to go. Ro, we love you. We'll see you around like a donut.
On the flip side.
So we got one more to talk about this evening.
I do like this. This is an EVP that I think this one was the clear. I pulled it up because I think it's the clearest EVP that you guys got in the location. There's nothing glitzy about it except for it's super clear and loud. And those intrigue me the most. Like, wow, this was like,
how did nobody hear this?
Yeah. How did this not come through as a voice in the room that you guys heard? It baffles me, but it did. And that's how EVPs work. So
Yep.
But it's super clear. And, we had a conversation, you and I, in one of the BTIs a few weeks ago, when we talked about EVPs and how, they can be usually they're real low and hard to hear. And I'm like, they do hit that high level. They're in those different hertz. And this is one of those that, man, it just was right there. So I'm going to go ahead and cue that one up. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm going to add it to the stream.
Yeah. So this is actually, you had just turned on the Echo box too. So, but this isn't coming from the Echo box. This is definitely an EVP recorded by this camera. And other cameras didn't pick it up. So that's one of the biggest reasons that. So,
yep.
You ready to go?
And Jackie has our handheld that has an external digital voice recorder basically on the top of it. And it's
super sensitive too.
Yep. It can hear a mouse fart.
It really can. It really can. You ready to go?
Yep, go ahead. Let her roll.
All right.
For that device, all you have to do is talk, and we'll hear you. Were you murdered, or did you commit suicide, sir?
I'm gonna play it again, but it reminds me of so much of the Benson Hammond. Did you see them? Like it's that strong. Help us! I mean, it's so loud to me. It almost sounds like it's echoing in the room. It's so loud.
I'm sorry. Press pause real quick.
Okay.
Tales from the Softest, I'm sorry. I did not see you as not a moderator. I just did and made you one. Also, Chaos Theory Production, you are a moderator as well. You are blue. Go ahead, post your links.
Post your links.
Take it back. Post your links.
All right, I'm going to play this again.
Or did you commit suicide, sir?
So strong. One more time. I miss it. There we go. I mean, it's just and I mean, to me, honestly, that was a bigger theme of what they were trying to attain from talking to you guys than referring to the questions you guys were asking about Mayo.
I mean, that voice is help us. That's crazy. Amber wants to know what kind of camera is recorded. What kind of camera we're recording that on? That is an Eakin sport camera that we modified into full spectrum.
Yeah, there's plenty of videos online on how to modify a lens to full spectrum, guys. So
I suggest
those kind of cameras, it's pretty easy.
I suggest the Eakin sport camera. You can find them on eBay for $35. Basically, all you have to do is take the lens off, take the IR filter off, and put it back on. And you have
screw the lens back in. You're gonna turn it on. You're gonna screw the lens in till you focus the view, and snap it back together, and you're done. I will say another cool thing about that one is that camera does have an auxiliary mic. So you can attach an external microphone to it, which we've done and added the microphone we use for the other cameras. So
we got our digital voice recorder microphones on top of those as well. So I can't wait to see how that turns out with last Saturday's investigation.
And another thing is a lot of the threads for those cameras, those style cameras, are the same. So you can find different angled lenses for them. So if you're going to do it, keep an eye out for it because you can get the real wide, you can get a more narrow view, so it's more honed in. on a location. We like the wide angle. It did get a little fish-eyed at the edges.
Yeah, they do a little bit. But
So,
I think it's got a hell of a picture. Wait till you see the picture from the parlor room. The parlor room picture from Saturday looks great.
Yeah,
dude, it looks awesome. Amber, anytime you need anything, you have my link right to you or right to me. You've already built that bridge of communication.
There you go. Look at you building communication.
I sent Amber a video on how to use the Echobox the other day.
Very good. It's a cool tool.
I can't wait to see it, Amber. I can't wait to see it in your videos. So you better be breaking it out here soon.
You know, I gave Jax that one. I hope she's been using it and having good, you know.
But Liana says hi. Thanks for stopping in, Liana. That's Jane's teammate.
Yep.
Appreciate you stopping by. Amber also says great video quality for sure. Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
We put a lot into the cameras.
And I'll say they're not. It's not like we have $1,000 cameras. You don't need $1,000 cameras. Yes, if you're going to go to make a high-end video, you probably want nice quality equipment. But we do a lot of shooting in the dark. You know.
Yep. So the quality doesn't need to be.
You're good.
The quality doesn't need to be all that good, and when
it's still crisp. I mean, you're still 4K in it, so.
Yeah, we're definitely want to see that.
Yeah,
I called her Woods outside of her house, the Whispering Woods.
Whispering Woods.
So many disembodied voices in it.
We've had fun in the woods before.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. But yeah, we put a lot into it, man, and
you know another thing,
it's expensive, but you can get the accessories to make them look good.
Yeah, you're darn right.
Because I tell you what, dude, the LED floods that we got, the IR LED floods,
they're little tiny guys,
last forever.
And I mean, they spit out. They spit out. I mean, it lit up that room. You know, if you got a good sensor on the camera, which I mean, they have decent sensors on those cameras. It's picking it up. I mean, it illuminated the room. And if anybody's watched the documentary, there's a point where Jared's on the SLS and he calls Jackie up and has her flip it over to visible light spectrum.
Oh yeah.
Instantly, it goes dark, and all you see is Jared's LCD screen of the SLS. The black around it is the lack of light hitting the sensor. That's how dark it was. And when your SLS screen goes black, that darkness is how dark it was in that location. So
there's also a video on our Facebook page that has me walking straight into that pole.
Did you put that on Facebook?
I did. I turned around and hit that pole. At first, I thought it was possibly a shadow person, and I was like, "Ooh, ooh!" And I felt the pole. I was like, "Oh, it's just a pole."
It's just a pole. It was dark. It was dark. And you know, I was actually watching this with my dad yesterday, and he's like, "If it's that dark, how come he's not? You know, he's walking around that K2?" I was like, "Yeah, it's because there's a tiny little green light. It's just enough to say, oh, that's where that is."
Yep. The only light we had that night was the moon coming in.
Yeah, and Jackie's LCD screen, you know.
That place was dark, man. It was probably one of the... You know what the darkest place was, though, that I've been in? You know where it was.
I'm sure I do. We were there.
The basement of Von Paris.
Oh, yeah, dude.
That son of a bitch was
that was pitch. That was pitch.
You couldn't see anything.
No, and that's a place that I always use a flashlight down there when we're walking because there's stuff to trip on down there too. That was a hazard.
I mean, dude, there was nothing that you could see. Anything.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, the first memory I have of going there was the first time that I went.
Go ahead. I'll let you tell the story.
Lights were on. The lights were on. We walked all It's a long basement. They're just on one side of the basement. It's divided by wall. We walk all the way to the back, and I tell you guys, when I say a spirit turn a light switch off, that's what happened. It turned the light switch off, pitch black. Didn't have our flashlights.
So
we didn't have nothing.
This is daytime too, and it's still dark as anything. And I'm like,
I couldn't see you.
Like, what the hell?
Happened to find the wall and was like, "Oh, I found a light switch," and you happened to click it up and it turned the lights on, and we realized that's the only light switch for the entire basement. They never turned the lights off because they didn't even know. They didn't know where the switch was, and we just happened to find it. And you were like, "Wait a second, someone had to have clicked this off." And it's just so funny that we have a digital recorder going. That's the only thing we had on us because it was our initial walkthrough, and it says "Get out."
Yeah, I remember driving back to the place that night after the walkthrough, and we were listening to it on your old Dodge truck.
Yeah,
and, we're listening to it with the car audio, and it's like,
and
I'm like,
we were both like, what?
I was like,
that's not
tonight
friendly.
Tonight might be fun.
Yeah,
that asshole Gabor, huh? He didn't like me for some reason.
Yeah, I miss him. I hate to say that. It's weird to say that, but I miss him.
I do. Well, I guarantee you the people that bought the $300,000 condos do not miss it.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I guarantee you that bastard's still there.
Why would he leave? He's like, screw this. You can't with me. I'm chained to the damn wall. I can't leave.
When they sold that place, the contractor couldn't open that fucking safe still.
I remember you telling me that. Yeah.
And they just threw the safe away.
Yeah, blow. Get a torch and cut into that.
There was a safe in this place that was from what, 1847? Is that what the date on it?
Was it 18 or 17? Maybe it was 18.
I think it was 1847. It was a safe from 1847 that the doctor that owned the building had locksmiths come in all the time, like 3 or 4 different times. To try to
he didn't want to damage. Yeah, he did not want to damage it.
Yeah, but he wanted to try to open it.
Yeah.
So these locksmiths came in to try to open it, and 4 different locksmiths could not open this thing up. Finally, he retires and sells the property, and they throw the damn safe away. Yeah,
because he sold it with everything in there?
Everything in there.
He had their furniture was upstairs. Like he had all so many of their belongings from the Von Paris family was in the house. Yeah, but he just used the floor of it as a doctor's office.
There's pictures and like old 1800s couches upstairs. He sold it. He got a pretty penny for it too. I think it was like 1.4 he got out of it.
Yeah, I bet.
I bet he's living good right now.
Good for him. No doubt.
Well, that's about it for this evening, folks. Thank you for coming along. Again, if you haven't,
Charles.
Yes, they should have. They should have. Awesome. Believe me. My mom was the dental hygienist for this dentist, Dr. Reyes, in Highlandtown, Baltimore.
Yeah,
that's where the place was, right outside of Greektown. You could get yourself a nice gyro and then go investigate.
Yeah. If they'd have donated it, we'd still be there.
It was one of my favorite locations.
I mean, that was our go-to. Oh, if it wasn't Benson Hammond.
Yep, definitely. But again, we're gonna end this one. We'll be back next Monday. We're gonna talk as a group. Maybe Wednesday about premiering the live from Facebook on YouTube. Friday evening, 9:00. We do not have a upload this week yet. Last week was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Last week was pretty hectic, and if I look at our subscription total, it went up a lot.
Good. Awesome.
We're up around 770 something now.
Yeah, I mean, there's some good stuff to check out on on the page, on the YouTube page. So
you can definitely get lost on that sucker.
And I mean, like the live that you guys just did, there's no captions to anything on there. So, and there's definitely some EVPs. I already heard a few. So go hunting, guys. Get in there and find some and put
I
in the
would
comments.
definitely like to invite people to go to that live that we did Saturday and tell me what you hear. Tell me what you hear. Brent comes into the channel all the time. Soon he's going to have an admin role here with this channel. Going to give him the sign in so I don't have to answer all these damn comments.
Yeah, when I answer, I'm like, who's this Brent character trying to talk to me?
But yeah, we're gonna get off for the evening. We're 55 minutes in. We try to keep these at 45, but it's Bass. What's up? My goodness, you're a little bit late. Post your link in here. There's 12 folks in here. Go ahead. If you haven't subscribed to Bass, go ahead or Bass. That's right, not Bass. Bass. If you haven't subscribed to them, go ahead and subscribe to them because they're good supporters of the channel.
Yeah, there's some cool
cats. They're always on there, and I appreciate that. Same thing with the Bud Files.
Oh, they're always on
there. And I appreciate y'all folks out there. And indeed, I said it right. All right. So we're going to get off for the evening. It was fun. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Until next Monday, maybe we'll see you Friday on the chat for a premiere. But keep an eye out for that.
Yep.
So until the next time, this is me, Jared.
And Brent.
Signing off. And we wish you adieu. We will not let you walk into that darkness alone.
Cheers, y'all.